Hi, my name is Kasey, and I'm a research assistant at Rutgers University. And I went to Antarctica, which is not something a lot of people get to say that they do. So Antarctica is often called the seventh continent or the forgotten continent. Sometimes it's even left off of world maps because nobody lives there, but it's actually super important. Pretty much everything in Antarctica surprised me from the day I arrived to the day I left. The colors that the sky get can be so intensely blue. It's so unique. The ice and the sea is white, the ice topping glaciers is white, and it's this pristine place, and you're surrounded by all of this landscape that's untouched by human beings. One of the things that is a little tricky to get used to is 24 hours of daylight. The area of Antarctica that I was in marks in at 23 and a half hours of daylight. So basically you can watch the sun set and then you watch it come right back up. And so the darkest it gets is like a bright orange and pink sunset. It's really pretty to take pictures of. The wildlife is something that's really interesting there. There's some fish that you can see in the water and a bunch of species of seals. There's 3 different species of penguin. Everybody's got to have a penguin selfie. And you can also hike what they call the backyard. So you just kind of go through all the rocks around the water. And that's where I like to spend most of my time. The wildlife just kind of likes to hang out there, so it's a fun place to go walk around. One of the rites of passage things that you can do when you're in Antarctica is jump off the dock into the water. So when I did it, immediately my entire body was just like stinging with cold. And so I just kind of swam to the ladders and it got wrapped into a towel. How did you get there and how much does it cost? Are the 2 most popular questions, I think. You go by first flying to Punta Arenas, Chile, and then you get on the boat and then you take a 5-day cruise to Antarctica. So that's how we get there. The other thing is what's really cool if you go down to work there as a scientist or any of the other positions, you don't pay for anything. So it's free and that's super cool. So there is actually a day-to-day. You learn it very fast. You work 6 days a week. So Monday through Friday is kind of set up like a 9 to 5-ish kind of job. Saturdays you only work a half a day, and then you're off on Sundays and start back up on Monday. Another thing that a lot of people are really curious about is what do you do when you're off? We get pretty creative about what we can do. For one, we do have a movie theater on station that doubles as a library. There's a Mario Kart tournament in there every week, and I definitely did that every single Saturday. There's a glacier right behind you. You're allowed to hike up it. You can also ski and snowboard on it. You know, you're really not that far from station or from the ship, but they look so small because you just get up so high, and it looks like you're so far away from it and that it's just this tiny little dot. Growing up, I really didn't have a track that might seem stereotypically required to become a female in science. I didn't have any real science role models, so to speak. I grew up going to the beach and I loved that. And that's how I decided what I wanted to do. I realized at a pretty young age that I was gonna have a lot of pushback on that. You can't give up just because somebody says you can't do it because of something like your gender or where you come from. And you have to work hard for what you want, and you have to prove to yourself that you can do it, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. We want to be able to bring this unique place to the masses, and we do that by going through these after-school programs and through 4-H. I also got involved with our department's education and outreach team. And one of the things that I actually was able to do with them was video chat them while I was in Antarctica, so I could kind of bring the content to their. Going to Antarctica proved to me that I could do things on my own and I could be an adventurer. And it's such an awe-inspiring experience to look up at a part of the glacier or look up at a mountain and know that no human has ever been on it before. And it is so important, both scientifically and culturally, that we can preserve that everything is so pristine about it. There are no permanent populations there. It's exploring and it's adventure and it's science. And it's important that we as a world learn about it so that we can save it.